In the dead of night, a man awakens from a harrowing nightmare, his body drenched in sweat, his heart pounding with fear. Disoriented, he struggles to gather his wits, unaware that he is about to step into a horrifying reality. As he tries to shake off the remnants of his dream, a peculiar sound cuts through the silence. He turns his gaze towards the window, and dread fills his heart as he realizes he left the blinds open, exposing himself to the lurking darkness outside. Overwhelmed by a mix of curiosity and trepidation, he musters the courage to investigate. Slowly, he approaches the window, fear clawing at the edges of his mind. Just as he begins to pull the blinds closed, a chilling sight freezes him in his tracks. A creature, swift and otherworldly, darts into the depths of the nearby forest. The man's blood runs cold as he realizes that this creature had been watching him while he slept. The man's thoughts race, and his instincts scream at him to protect himself. He hastily closes the blinds and secures his door, ensuring that he is safe from whatever dark presence had been observing him. Exhausted and desperate to find solace in sleep, he returns to his bed, hoping to drift back into the realm of dreams. However, as the minutes tick by, slumber remains elusive, the creature's presence haunting his thoughts. Confronted with the futility of his attempts to find peace, he makes a fateful decision. Driven by an unyielding curiosity and a need for closure, he rises from his bed, grasping a feeble flashlight, and ventures into the unknown, into the depths of the forest. Armed with only a feeble light, he ventures deeper into the ominous forest. The trees loom overhead, their gnarled branches reaching out like twisted fingers, attempting to ensnare him in their grasp. Each step he takes is fraught with anticipation. Every rustle of leaves sends shivers down his spine. He pushes forward, the beam of his flashlight revealing fleeting glimpses of movement and indiscernible sounds that echo through the night. As he delves deeper into the heart of the forest, an overwhelming sense of dread settles upon the man's shoulders. The air grows heavy with an unsettling silence, broken only by the distant hoot of an owl or the rustle of unseen creatures in the underbrush. Still, he pushes forward, driven by an unrelenting need to confront the source of his torment. The forest seems to come alive, twisting and warping around him, as if it anticipates his arrival. Shadows dance in the corners of his vision, playing tricks on his mind, amplifying his unease. Heart pounding in his chest, he follows a faint trail that leads him deeper into the heart of the forest, the darkness swallowing him whole. His flashlight flickers, casting eerie shadows that seem to whisper secrets in the night. With each step, the tension mounts. The silence becomes a suffocating presence, amplifying the sound of his own labored breathing. He senses that he is drawing closer, closer to the creature that has tormented his nights. And then, from the depths of the darkness, a low growl rips through the air, freezing the man in his tracks. His blood turns to ice as he comes face to face with the very embodiment of his nightmares, a creature known as the Rake. The Rake, a harrowing figure with gaunt, elongated limbs and sunken, soulless eyes, exudes an aura of primal malevolence. Its grotesque form moves with unnatural grace, its breath heavy with a hunger for fear. Fear paralyzes the man as the Rake edges closer, its presence suffocating. With every ounce of strength he can muster, he turns on his heels and bolts, his heart pounding in his ears. The forest becomes a labyrinth of twisted branches and thorny obstacles, threatening to ensnare him at every turn. Desperation fuels his flight as he fights against the suffocating grasp of the forest's darkness. Adrenaline courses through his veins as he pushes his body to its limits, never daring to look back. The Rake's haunting growls and unearthly screeches echo through the night, propelling him forward, inching him closer to survival. Gasping for breath, the man's legs carry him through the darkness, his heart pounding in his chest. The sounds of the pursuing monster echo in his ears, urging him to run faster, to reach the safety of his home. With every ounce of strength left in him, he sprints towards his house, his sanctuary against the horrors that lurk in the night. The sounds of the creature's pursuit gnaw at his back, urging him to push forward, to survive. Finally, he reaches his back door, his trembling fingers struggling to grab a hold of the door handle. The monster's presence looms closer, its menacing breath on his neck. With a final surge of determination, he manages to open the door, stumbling inside. He quickly closes the door behind him, locking it. He falls to the ground, gasping for air, his entire body trembling from the adrenaline coursing through his veins. He strains his ears, the silence around him deafening, hoping to confirm that the creature is finally gone. Time stretches on, each passing second feeling like an eternity. Gradually, his breath steadies, and a sense of calm washes over him. He rises slowly, his muscles aching, and reassures himself that he is safe within the confines of his home. Despite his attempts to convince himself that everything is fine, doubt lingers in the corners of his mind. He makes his way over to the kitchen and grabs a knife. He then clutches the knife tightly, a measure of security against the lingering fear. He musters the courage to continue exploring his house, ensuring its fortification. Fatigue weighs heavy upon him, his steps slow and heavy as he navigates the familiar yet ominous corridors. The thought of turning on the lights feels too overwhelming, so he relies on his flashlight to guide him. Exhaustion overwhelms him, and he collapses onto his bed, grateful for the solace it offers. The comfort of his bedroom promises a respite from the horrors he has encountered. He allows himself to believe that he can finally rest. Just as his eyes begin to flutter shut, a chilling gust of wind sends a shiver down his spine. Panic courses through his veins, and he fumbles for his flashlight, his hand shaking uncontrollably. The beam of light reveals a sight that freezes him in fear. The window, which he knows was closed when he left, now stands wide open, inviting the unknown into his sanctuary. Trembling, he sweeps the light across the room, his gaze landing on a shadowy figure huddled in the corner, eyes glowing, staring right back at him.